Ladies, welcome to this video. Welcome to the Carb Cycling Challenge. Welcome to the first of the probably 5 or 6 video we're gonna film between this week and next week. Not only some that are gonna be filmed this format, like you see here now. The other one are going to be done via Zoom. All of them, there will have a replay if they're on Zoom. Obviously, if they're this format, you can see it live. I want you to comment live. If you see a replay, I want you to like to comment on replay. And basically, the way it works is like you will see these videos, you will implement what you see inside the video, and I'm gonna suggest you watch this thing a couple of times. And until tonight, you have a chance to still jump inside the challenge and be eligible to win the prizes. And of course, the biggest thing you would win is probably the fact that you would probably realize that you would get some results. And I'm not gonna stop stressing this enough. I love that we have about probably 20 people yesterday on the call, and sadly, a huge part of them that are in the program. So for them, they will take the challenge as much as they're doing the work. We have 1,000+ people in here, which are still not doing anything, probably. And based on what I'm seeing, like except from a few comments, and it's really the question is really, what are you really here for? Like, why are you joining groups? Why are you coming in? If when the solution is given to you on a silver platter, you're not taking it. And again, like you might want to ask yourself, Jerry, what the hell should I just pay €67 for if I can just see the videos for free? That's the problem. This is why you're actually here. This is why you're struggling with weight. This is why, despite information being everywhere, we have more obesity, more diseases, more condition than ever, more people being unhappy, right? And the thing is, like, if you were so sure that the piece of information you're missing is only what you need, I mean, feel free, knock yourself out. You can watch all this video for free, and this is basically what probably what's gonna bring. I'm super proud of the people we have in the program. I'm super proud of not only the people that were yesterday live, but probably the people that watch the replay and actually take this challenge. But I'm super proud of all of them that were really active, and they really express not only the interest on making a change for themselves, but the interest to obviously continuing to making changes. And again, why should you actually do that? In my opinion, is because I said it multiple times. This is a challenge that is on a format that will go relatively close, maybe 30% to what the full program will be about. So it's not a lot, but the investment that we're asking is significantly different. And this is going to be for me and my coaches a lot of work just to move your guys through. And I really feel like this is your chance to implement some of the work, because the biggest burden in human history is unfulfilled potential. If you as humans believe that you are even close to your potential, and you actually feel that inside yourself, and you actually think like that's the truth, you're fooling yourself. Because realistically, it's like we are all in a place that we want to consume more information. We want to actually watch these things. We want to go to podcasts, to webinars, and feel like we're busy doing that, and feel like we're making progress doing that. That's nothing but procrastination. Okay, that's nothing but procrastination. And what this is gonna show the difference between you that are basically watching this or not even watching this, or you that you're actually watching and actually implement these 21 days. You will see the progressions through these 21 days for a lot of people. And that's, my opinion, is the biggest gift that I want to give you into this challenge. Yesterday I said that the purpose of the challenge, 21 days, is not like they painting most challenges to be. It's not like you're getting a results in 21 days, but you're getting the awareness that 21 days isn't close enough to even get close to that. But 21 days is enough to build a skill. 21 days is enough to see some wins. 21 days is enough to actually you believe in, like, right now you can actually change. 21 days is a kickstart for some of you. And again, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you watch this thing throughout the week, you can still join the challenge. You're not going to be eligible to win the prize, just to make it fair for everybody. The winner will be upon the biggest transformation, both mentally and physically. That means, like, you're going to see some differences. You're also going to see people adhering and caring about posting. So that starts today. I saw, for instance, I think I saw one. I saw Claudia already posting. And by the way, if you're here, just let me know that we're live, and let me know who you are, and let me know how you're doing today. And heck, for real, like for all of you out there like watching this thing, like if you like this group, why you're not taking this challenge? Like it's nothing but wins in here, and I really don't get what you can also, I mean, comment below, like, are we not painting the picture good enough? Are we not expressing what changes are we not putting in enough on you? Like, are we not giving you the clarity that this system works? Because like that's actually important. This community is a community of lady both from inside the program and the outside, hopefully to build a same community for everybody, and we all only need to feed more people. Aside from that, a few, like I said, it's like the goal of this challenge is to show you that if you do the work, so not only watching, not only consuming, go from procrastinating and feeling very good and comfortable in yourself watching a video to actually do the work with the video. Because I'm going to show you now that the guide I gave, like I put a guide on, if you go to my profile, you see a guide, Carb Cycling. It's been downloaded over 300 times. And sometimes I ask them, like, what if, like, did you see the guide? Like maybe like half, maybe 60% of them, they have even actually open the guide. That tells me that like there is this idea of consuming stuff without doing any work with it, right? I'm going to show you today what this guide can do. And I'm going to show two formats, like when you're in the program, whether you're not in the program, what you should do right now. But I'm going to show you that, again, one more time, the biggest burden we have is not doing the work. It's not like taking the information you are given and not doing the work. Why is that? I don't know. Why, if you did the work and it didn't work properly, we can always optimize. And this is the biggest thing I guess coaching can give you, is this idea that it's not about just one thing you must do and then see a results. It's not one trajectory, right? But it's more so about multiple trajectory that you need to fix and implement and getting better on. See here, Dori, I think. And like, again, like, let me just see who is here. Who is commenting here right now? Astrid, good seeing you. Let me see who is actually here. But we see some excellent example of people that are commenting and like are implementing this stuff. Astrid is an excellent example of it, with a very few resources, doing biggest change, and that's the idea. So this is basically what's happening right now. Okay, today we're gonna break down how to calculate carb cycling intuitively, meaning like there is two ways to do carb cycling, which in my opinion is the biggest, better nutritional protocol for ladies over 40. Why? Because it's easy to stick to. It's something that you can be flexible with. You can go out and you can still have a cheat meal. You can still have you can still like cook the same for your family than yourself. You can still go out and get some some dinners and know what to do after, as long as you know what to do the day in, day after. But there is so many like physiological benefit from it. Like, a metabolism over 40 needs carbohydrate. Metabolism over 40 needs to reduce stress, improve sleep, increase in energy. All that stuff is done when you can stick to a diet, and when the diet doesn't seem like a diet, when it doesn't seem like it's stressful, when it doesn't seem like it's extreme, when it doesn't seem like it's difficult to do. And this is basically what carb cycling is. It impacts like more like pairing that with the right workouts, it gets you to build muscle tone. Pairing that with the right amount of carb for your specific type, it gets to improve your thyroid level. Thyroid level increases directly your metabolism boost. You retain better water. Like you start going from water outside the cells to inside the cells. It's a lot of benefit. And again, like I don't want to bore you to death with the chemical part, nor you should, in my opinion, take time to actually learn this unless it's something that you do for school or something. But like it's definitely something that you should be familiar with. This is important. And again, what I want you to do here is that if you choose, you can choose to watch this and then tonight Zoom and then see which one you want to go with. But if you watch this and you say, I'm not going to count calorie, I'm not going to go super precise, I still want to benefit of it. Like there are a few people yesterday asked me, I think Edith was one, and told me like, I have an amount of calorie already. Should I just do in which one is better? I mean, you probably want to go with one of the two, and then you want to be consistent with the post. Like you want to be consistent from today until probably maybe 18 days from now, like the second week, and the third part of the third is going to be really implementing all this stuff. And the first week is kind of like learning. So, there is a space that you have to learn, much like in school. But, this is kind of like where we go. And now I'm basically now kind of like, let me just share the screen. We're kind of like getting into the fun stuff. And again, imagine that it's never going to be a way to do this thing perfectly, okay? Especially if you do the one that you're actually counting. But basically, like I said, when you're taking a guide, next time you download something, whether it's for this program or whatever you want, just really read the thing and read it twice, watch this video twice, go into that and understanding how this is, right? So it's several ways you can do carb cycling, right? So the first thing that you need to really do is, first and foremost, post your pictures. You should do that. You don't have to if you don't want, but you should, if you actually want to try to win this thing or whatever. If you are in the program, we have you do that on an application on a weekly basis, right? All the people that purchase the challenge will have an application for 21 days, the least. So you will need to highball when you take your picture in which of this category fat percentage you fell into. This is kind of like the first step. You want to be taking your measurements. You want to be taking your pictures. You can still look at your weight. Weight is the last important of the metrics. And by the way, just going off on here, but let me just see if you guys see all this, right? It's not like I'm talking to myself, right? Like, okay, this is actually, you guys see this, because I see on my phone this thing is going blank now. So let me know if you're seeing this thing here. Okay, yes, it looks like it's yes. Okay, so this is the first thing you're gonna have to do. Okay, whether you're in a program for a while, whether you're not in the program, you should do this thing, because this is gonna give you the direction. When you take this, you know that it's gonna be an amount of calorie you will need to calculate. Okay, if you are not in the program, you will need to do a TDEE calculation. Okay, this is like, you might want to redo it if you're in the program, but if I gave you already kind of like what to do, don't redo it. Okay, so chances are, if you are a person, let's say 1/40, let's say you, I don't know, 90 kilo, for instance, right? Like you are 160, right? We'll do sedentary here. You get 18 something, right? This is kind of like the way you should be eating, right? If you feel like you have no energy problems, you don't have cravings all the time, you have fairly good sleep, you want to be taking this, right? This calculation, and you probably want to go not to the metabolism rate, but you probably want to go maybe something like between 1600. A good start would be 1600, right? So you're taking level 1, like you're taking what we're doing today, right? And then you kind of like want to reverse engineer. The first thing is like, how many times are you planning to eat in a day? I would go anywhere from probably 3 to 4. 5 is kind of like a lot of work. 3 to 4, right? And you would go down to, again, you look at this picture, and let's say that you are on the higher than 26%, right? You probably want to really start with a more lower up the green approach. It's like low carb, maybe medium or high carb. You have like 4 days out of 7 that you do low carb. Okay, low carb, and then high carb maybe only 3 times, right? Okay, so this, like, I would not do cheat meals until we talk about cheat meals in the last video. If you are higher than 25%, the green thing here on the guide is what I would do. Okay, I will still probably paste you should all have this guide at this point. If you need it, just comment down below, I'll paste it. If you are under 25%, I would go with lower carb. With more carbs, meaning like low carb, high carb, low carb, high carb. Again, no cheat meal, low carb, high carb, or higher. There is also moderate carb. We're gonna see on Wednesday, tomorrow on the Zoom, that there is also a way to do moderate carb, but it needs to be tracked. What does it look like in real life? What does it look like in real life? Let me just see if I can, if you see this, this is what it looks like. It's like a intuitive eating approach. You need to be very resourceful. It's more flexible, but you need to actually have a sense. It's like anytime meals look like you're gonna have mostly veggie, some protein, and some healthy fats. Like, please, healthy fats mean like a small amount, like this amount on the, or even smaller in the plate, right? Nuts, oat, seal, a slice of avocado. Protein, it could be anything that you see here, right? You can also look into, I'm going to show you more examples later, right? You can also, like, you fill the meal, like you fill the dish, like with mostly vegetable, 3/4 of the deck, right? Higher carb means like you're going to have this thing over here, right? That is going to be half of it carbs, starches, right? And then some veggie and fruit, and then so between protein and carb here, half and half. Like the carb should be partly starches or fruit. You can actually choose. And again, it doesn't have to be blueberry, it can be whatever you want. But basically, this is what it looks like. Okay. Now, if you are higher than 25% and you do three meals a day, you probably want to go with 2 like this and then 1 full, right? If you are higher than 25%, lower, like if you're like more shredded, more defined, you can do 2 and 2. And again, you test yourself, like you test and you measure, you test and you measure. We know we should be taking these measurements and these things probably twice a week, but every 15 days, you're going to take your measurements. So like you want to actually take that, right? Now, if you look at that and you want to go a little bit more precise and you know that you need to consume 1,500 calories or 16, if you are in the program, you access our module of nutrition here, right? You go on the awareness module and you have this approach that is 80-20, right? That we know that it works like that. Now, if you're not in a mastermind or in the course, you're not going to have that. So you need to be in that if you want to have this. But I'm going to show you an alternative. You can take, like you make up a meal of 500 calorie, and then you do 3 of those meals plus a snack. So it's like 1 or 200 calorie of vegetable, right? 100 maybe of fruit, 200 of protein, and then either 1 serving of fat or 1 serving of carbs. Like I said before, if you're a person that want to go more, like if you want to do only 1 carb meal a day, you would do 1 of fat, right, and everything else protein, right? Now, a small trick, because if you're a person that likes food a lot, you're not going to use in your fruit, you're not going to use 2 dates, which is 100 calorie. You might want to use for 100 calorie strawberries, blackberries, watermelon, something that is a lot of water and fiber, because it's going to fill you up for longer, right? Same thing with a vegetable. You want to be using not an avocado. Chances are you want to be using something that has celery or asparagus or something like that, right? Protein will not harm you, right? So you probably want to go with protein for the most time. In fact, most people eat too few protein. And again, if you are not in the program, you go on the guides inside the group and you can access similar module. You can actually access here and like you can click on this thing, it's going to give you more information. You can watch this thing and you do 1 protein, 1 fruit, and you have several of these 1 serving size of 100 calorie, and you make up a meal of 500 calorie. And you do this 3 times a day, and the game is done. Super simple. As you see here, it's not as difficult to do, but it does require some work. It does require for you to post. It does require you to actually having us as the coaches like helping you out. And if you are in the group, you probably, like if you are in the program, you're probably already doing that. If you're not, it's the right time to start. And I really do wish that you, if you chose this method over here, that you start this way, because it's going to give you some way for us to give you some tips, some things to improve. Carb cycling done intuitively is not the best method, because it's highly easy to mess up when it comes to accuracy, but it's definitely give you some more flexibility. So if you're a person that know that you have to do 2 or 3 meals low carb and 1 meal high carb, you would use the 1 meal into the workout time. We're gonna talk about how to implement those reload cheat meals like into the workouts as well. That's gonna be a Zoom training, I believe, or something like that I will do live. But then again, if you need to practice. I cannot stress this enough, especially the one from tomorrow. You're gonna need to practice. And again, if you chose to do that and you chose to do it tomorrow, you go back to this video, you comment level 1, and you go with it, and you go with it for the whole 21 days. I would not suggest you just jump between one and another. Like, you want to definitely figure out which one is the best for you, and you go with it. And this is an experiment for you to actually see if you're actually good for this. Like, if you like this, it can bring amazing results when it comes to really seeing body composition different. Of course, there is a base. You need to realize that if you've never done anything before, like everything else, it does require time. But this is something that can be highly beneficial with you. So now, again, if you want to jump on this thing, there is countless times that I posted about the links to actually join the challenge. It needs to be done by tonight. You need to watch the replay of the kickoff call yesterday. So, time is really sensitive here. And if not, of course, I wish you all the best. If you can still watch the video if you want. All this video will be saved and put inside a portion of the website where it says Carb Cycling Challenge. So, like, you can always watch it and rewatch it, even if you join the program a month from now. And with this being said, hopefully this is clear enough. Watch it again, because the answer is in there. Like, you can stop, whenever like you find, and it's like step by step. This is what we said. We calculate your calorie. You probably slash 15%. You then see what your body initially looks like. Based on that, you choose. If you're above 25%, probably lower carb, okay? Based on the frequency of the meal, 3-4 times. I will go with 3 or 4 because most of you are not going to need more than 15 to 1600 calories. You want to be doing either 3 low carb and 1 high carb. I would do my best to implement that around any workout time that you do, right? Even if it's not the right workout, we'll talk about that. If you are lower than 25%, you want to be doing probably half and half. So maybe 1 carb and 1, probably on the earlier time of the day, maybe low carb. On the higher time, the opposite. On the earlier part, like you can also start sometimes the breakfast with carbs, then maybe 2 low carbs, and then 1 high carb in the evening. Depends what you like and when is your workout time. The order is not important, but it will be at a certain point. Meaning, like usually, carb cycling is done on that way. It's like done early the carb and then less carb later. But there are some people that is going to impact the sleep if you don't eat carb in the night, much like myself. So I tend to keep my carb in the night as well. So it's really up to you. But again, practice. Let me know if you like this, if you want to do this kind of approach. And I see you all on Zoom tomorrow night. It's going to be a 9:15 call. From there, we're going to see. It's going to be a little bit more detailed, a little bit more work to do. We're going to calculate there's going to be a carb cycling calculator. You're going to calculate your split. There is going to be different days with different calorie amount. And so it's going to be some more work to do if you were to choose the other one. I highly, highly, highly suggest, if you are a person that wants to get better in things, you really consider doing with the MyFitnessPal and calorie calculation and stuff. But if I do understand that some people like flexibility and like to be less confining to rules, and again, it's like it's up to you. But one of these two you probably have to pick and actually start posting. All the best. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.